Hello, everybody. It might be morning where you are, afternoon or evening, but it's so great that you're here. And thank you for tuning in for my book chat. And it's going to be a beautiful one tonight. My name is Melody McAllister. And if this is your first time joining us, or you join us every chance you get, I want to thank you. You can catch this live broadcast every Wednesday from Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. And you can catch the replay on these same channels. I want to give a shout out to the Teacher Goals Connected School communities and Thrive in Edu community. And thank you for tuning in. And now I'd like to introduce the author and educator, Ekuwah Mends Moses, the author of My Name is an Address. This beautiful story led to deep conversations with my own children about how to welcome others by learning how to say their names correctly, even when it's not easy at first. And this powerful story showed us the glory of Ghana, a country on the west coast of Africa who believes in community and lifting one another up. We all decided we'd like to visit this beautiful country someday. It's told in an alphabetical order, and each letter gives way to pause and reflect and ask questions. Our conversation was as rich as the story, and I would love for you to experience this as well. So I am so excited to welcome Ekuwah Mends Moses tonight. How are you doing, and can you tell us a little bit about your background?
Oh, thank you. Thank you for this invitation. I can't tell you how much this means to me. I have been following you, Miss Melody, and your authorship, and I'm learning so much from you. So I can't thank you enough for this invitation. A little bit about myself. This is my 21st year in education. I have been living out here in Las Vegas, Nevada, working in a really gigantic school district with lots of schools. I absolutely love it. I'm currently in family engagement. I've been in family engagement for the past 6 years, doing courses and workshops for parents and families and supporting schools all across our district. You've caught me at a time I'm making a big change, big announcement for those of you who are watching and happen to know me. My days in family engagement are over. My position is no longer in our district. And so I will be going back. We have a teacher shortage, which is a national issue. So I will be starting something I've always wanted to do on Monday. I am going to be what's called a humanities position, and it has a STEM focus. So I'm going to be doing robotics and all that science, technology, engineering, and math that I wanted to do. So although, I lost what I loved, I'm gaining something else. So I'm excited about that. I'm also a mom. I have two kids. They're teenagers now, so they keep me really busy. I'm also married, and I have a large extended family that is from Ghana too. So all kinds of things happening in my world.
Yes, I love your background. First of all, congratulations on your new job and your ability to, make this transition and embrace this transition when you weren't planning on it. Like, kudos to you. And all the work you do, I know is phenomenal. Like, if you have never met Ekuwah before, like her work is all over the internet. Like she's been contributing to education for quite a while. And my own kids are like, do you know this lady? I was like, yes. And they're like, well, do you get to meet? I was like, I'm meeting with her tonight. She's like, how many celebrities do you know, Mom? So you are big to us, and this is amazing. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
So tell us, this actually, My Name is an Address. It made a list recently, right?
Yes, it did.
Tell us all about that.
You know what? I was shocked to be on that list. I'll tell you because when this came out, I was actually writing a family engagement course for my job that I was doing, so parents and families could know more about books with names. And so I actually Googled books with names because I have some. If you can see my library behind me, I have quite a library, and I knew some, but I just wanted to add a nice mix because there's always things coming out. And then the We Are Teachers popped up, and I was like, oh, great, 25 books with names. And then I was scrolling, and there was mine, and I'm like, oh my goodness, wow. I didn't know, but I'm so honored to be amongst such amazing titles.
Yes, and I'm trying to. Oh, here it is. I'm finding the link. I want to drop the link. And so, yes, congratulations because you
Thank
just
you.
came out with your book just a
Mhm.
little while ago. Like, was it in June?
Yeah, it was July the 13th.
Oh,
Yeah.
awesome.
hmm
Tell us a little bit like about the background of this book and like why you decided to write it.
Okay. So I decided to write this book because of one of the carvings that you'll see in the book. This is a carving of an egg, and it represents life, and life is precious. So, back in 2020, the pandemic hit. And before the pandemic, I was traveling all over doing courses and workshops and things. Well, I had time at home like everybody else. And then summer vacation came, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to make my dreams happen. This is the time that I have. I'm usually busy going here, there, and everywhere. I'm going to revisit something I tried 20 years ago. So 20 years ago, I tried to publish something called Sankofa Sioux. Go back and find your colors. And if you see in here, I know it's a little hard to see. If you remember this from My Name is
Yes.
these pictures, 20 years ago, I tried this concept of writing the text in the pictures. And you'll know in 2000, the technology isn't what it is now, right? So I wasn't able to get it. And even Peach was the salt pond house. So I tried.
Oh, wow.
And it didn't work for me. I got rejected. So the pandemic hit. I thought, I'm going to try. I'm going to give this another go. Again, I got rejected several times. And then a good friend of mine, I'll plug her name here, Miss Heidi Carr. She said, you know what? I think you should try EduMatch. EduMatch is a publisher who believes in working with educators. And I thought, you know what? Okay. And I just went ahead and applied. And when I did, I thought, well, I know that my design wasn't the best 20 years ago, so I'm just going to submit the text and see if I can get a publisher to accept that. And then when I did that, Dr. Sarah, the CEO of EduMatch, said, right now we're not taking anyone who is not an author illustrator. And she said, that idea file that you gave with your manuscript, do you think you could use that to illustrate your book? And I thought, I hear you're always supposed to say yes, even if you don't know how. So I said, yes, absolutely. So I went ahead and took those, and I got it all together. But, again, what sparked me as well is, even 20 years ago, is my mom was a phenomenal artist. And as you see, I put some of the things out here today. These are the things I grew up with in my home. My first book, my sticker book, this painting that you see back here, these are things I grew up surrounded by, and the carvings that you see as well. Those are things that are familiar to me, and I knew that it also makes me unique too. So one of the workshops I do with families, I read The Best Story by Eileen Spinelli. And in that book, she says, the best stories are the stories that come from your heart, your own heart. And so I said, well, this is my heart. This is what's close to me. My mother passed away in 2017. I really want to honor the work that she did and bring that forward, because I'm sure other people could benefit, maybe relate to, and maybe it's a window for them, to see how other things go. So that's my journey to the story.
And it's an amazing story. And my kids were like, when they were looking at the pages, they're like, that's really her? And I'm like, yes. And this is her mother. And I talked about your mother. And I think it was your sister that wrote about her at the very end.
Yes.
We read over her story. And so the family, like, it meant, as somebody who loves my family and wants my own children to grow up and to love one another and to, of course, still love me, hopefully, that meant so much, because, and when we got to the part about how, like, your ancestors and going into Ghana, like how community means so much, lifting each other, what works and helps and build up the community, like that really, really touched us. So
thank you.
Of all the art, just what a blessing, what a way to grow up. I am just floored. It's just such a beautiful book. So I would love if you want to share a little bit with the rest of us.
Oh, absolutely. It would be my absolute honor and pleasure. I'm going to pull it up so you can see it a little bit better.
And Brienne Fennell is saying she's sending us heart. She's sending us love. Thank you, Brienne, another EduMatch author who's wonderful. All right. And I'm going to take this banner off. All right, here we go.
Okay, and I'll just kind of give you a little behind the scenes as we go through this too. So this cover is actual photos. So everything you see in here, I did illustrate myself. So I took photos of the kente cloth, Those are actual letters that I had, and that is a painting my mother did. And I put all of those together to try and illustrate address. So you see the American flag there, knowing that I was born in the United States, but really my roots in the back of me is the kente cloth, which is an immediate signal to Ghana. So here we go. My name is an address. On this page, I hope you'll sign your book and give this as a gift to someone. Put it as a gift to your child or whoever, sign and date it, because that's always such a precious thing. I love handwritten notes, and I wanted to have a space for that. And then one of my favorite quotes is, "Are you ready to open a new window?" from Dr. Rudine Sims Bishop. She talks about books being windows, mirrors, sliding glass doors. And so I'm like, hey, ready to open my window? Let's go. So my name is an address. A is for address. I am American, but people are confused when they see my name written or hear it spoken. Where is your name from? Some ask. My name leads to the continent of Africa. And that was important to me because many people don't know that Africa is a continent and not a country, and it's very unique and very different. B is for born. My father was born in Cape Coast, Ghana. He lived in a 2-story compound house. It is in a busy neighborhood called Quanapata. Our extended family still lives there. Generations of family pictures are hung high on the walls. And there you can see my grandmother and my grandfather. And I'm not going to read the whole story. I want to say that I'm skipping some of them so that way I can give you an excerpt from the book. And I hope you'll check it out and see the letters that we're missing. So I'm going to go ahead and skip ahead to D. D is for distinct. Mama and Papa gave me a name that is distinct from the names of most people. I am thankful that they decided to follow a cultural tradition. It is a name that is common in Papa's country. E is for examples. Ekuwah is my first name and leads to my ancestors' country. My middle name, Ruth, leads to my Christian religion. I have cousins with the same first name, but their parents chose a more traditional Fanti spelling, Ekuwah, or Ekua. My grandfather suggested the spelling of my name. And I put that in here because sometimes Ghanaians don't know I'm Ghanaian because of the way my name is spelled. And so I wanted them to know that my grandfather is the one who came up with this a little bit non-traditional spelling of my name. And on this page, you can see that that is actually me up there learning to write my name back in kindergarten. The caption above that is actually my mother's handwriting from the scrapbook. And the sticker book, as you can see right back here, I did take a picture of the sticker book and I put it in the book because these are actual things. It was really important for me to write a story that's real, a real family, real people, an actual authentic nonfiction book. Skipping ahead to G. G is for gold. Ghana is in West Africa. It was called the Gold Coast until the end of the British rule. Dr. Kwame Nkrumah announced independence on March 6, 1957. I am blessed to be called more specifically a Ghanaian American. And I'm very proud of that because many African Americans are not able to trace which country of origin they come from. And so I feel very proud and honored that I am able to trace generations of my family. H is for hope. My father is the oldest of 9 children. He left Ghana with the national track team to train in America. He hoped to get a higher education and run in the Olympics. Dad met my African American mother in college. They had so much hope for their family and made faith, love, and giving a priority in our daily lives. And so there's my actual parents there. And this is from when Dad participated in the All Africa Games. So that's actually his past there. And I purposely put this picture here with my mom playing volleyball here because you'll see later in the story she did have multiple sclerosis. And unfortunately, some people only met her. The last 17 years of her life, she was bedridden. And so my kids have never known her like this. And so I wanted them to know that You know, Grandma used to be very active. She did a lot of things, and so that's why I put that there. K is for kind. Children teased me and called me Hakuna Matata. Their singing and laughing made me feel like I did not fit in. I felt lonely, embarrassed, and ashamed of my name. My parents talked to me and helped boost my confidence. They told me to be kind and remember our family values. And all these little notes that you see here are actual handwritten notes from my mom. Again, I didn't write or paint or draw anything in this book. Everything is from my mom, actual, authentically. And I hope that encourages families to write handwritten notes too and save those if you get them. N is for name. Teachers always mispronounced my name and asked if I had a nickname. I told them I did not and politely taught them how to say my name. I would gracefully correct them when they practiced the pronunciation. I like my name. It's me. I don't want my name changed or erased. Skipping ahead to Q. Q is for questions. My parents knew I would have a lot of questions. Mom created homemade books for me to learn about Ghana. The pages included the English and Fanti language. We read those books together over and over. We read those books over and over. I still ask questions and try to learn more about our language, history, and culture each day. I still do. Absolutely. And you can see that here too. So this is my first book. And when you look inside of it, I took out, like you see the stop sign on the first page of the book, that came from here. I also took like the fish that you see on the other page, I took from here as well.
Wow.
Skipping ahead to U. U is for unique. There are many girls in the world named Ekuwah, but I am unique. My hobbies, talents, experiences, goals, and achievements make me one of a kind. W is for Y. Ekuwah identifies the day of the week I was born and my gender. I am a girl born on Wednesday. Babies born on Wednesday are the famous and fearless ones. Ask Ekuwah Nancy the spider. Last one. Z is for zest. Grandpa is 102 years old. And I'm going to correct that because since this is published, he's now 103 and lives life with zest. He likes to crack a witty joke, give a loving smile, or unexpectedly sing an inspirational tune. I am proud to represent him, my family, the country of Ghana, and the African ancestors who paved the way for me. My name is an address. What is your address?
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. I love it. And do you have a favorite illustration?
I would say probably the one on unique. Well, this one is, and I'll tell you why. Because when I went to Ghana one time, I was visiting a church, and they do offering a little bit different than we do here. Sometimes they call people to the front to give your offering in the basket at the front of the church. And they said, Wednesday born. And they said, all the Ekuwahs come to the front. And of course, I'm visiting Ghana, right? And I was born here. So this is completely different to me. And they danced down the aisle. So this picture reminds me of the time I was expected to dance down the aisle because I was in Ghana with a whole bunch of other Ekuwahs and we were dancing down the aisle in the church. So this picture is definitely one of my favorites.
Oh, I love that. And my book chats are on Wednesday, so I love it. You're a Wednesday's child. And yes, and it's a Wednesday. Wednesdays are my favorite days of the week. That is so cool.
Absolutely.
One of the I liked also about your story, and one of the alphabet pieces that you did, and I love how you did this, how you gave us a smattering. This is an amazing book. One of the things that we stopped on was this outdooring tradition that your parents still wanted to do. Even though they were living in Missouri, they like the special, and maybe it's because I have a lot of kids. I don't know, but I just thought it was so amazing. It's kind of like the the showers that we throw. But
Hmm.
so you don't announce your child's name until the 8th day, correct?
Yes.
Is that what it's like, this big celebration and everybody wears white? That was beautiful. That was probably one of my favorites. Just
Oh,
saying,
thank
if you were
you.
curious.
Thank you. Yes,
Now, and I'm
definitely.
curious, did you follow that tradition with your own kids?
I did with my son. I happen to live in Las Vegas, and most of my family lives in Missouri. So it made it really challenging. And then I had my kids 14 months apart. So
Mm,
because of that, it was a little bit of a challenge with two young little kids traveling across, the country. And so, no, I wasn't
yes.
able to do that with my daughter, unfortunately. But yes, I definitely tried to with him.
Well, that is really cool. I just love it. And the real pictures. So we were talking about this before we went live about how, and you mentioned during our show right now how, like, when you offered this up and you got rejected and rejected and rejected, and then you went to EduMatch and it was like all of these pictures. What kind of illustrator? I mean, it just worked together perfectly. I think the way that you published it with your real pictures and your real artifacts is way better than any illustrator could have, like, reenacted.
Oh,
And the
thank
honor
you.
that you bring your family, it just really worked out the way that it was supposed to.
It really did, because I gave up. Like I said, for 20 years, I gave up on this. But then the pandemic was like, no, this is your chance. It's the best of times and it's the worst of times right now. And I have
Hmm.
this opportunity. I have a publisher who's actually interested. So I'm going to jump on it and absolutely do my best.
And if you are interested in getting a copy, I want to just direct you to bit.ly/my name is an address, and the capitals do matter. But you can find this book on Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, Walmart, Target, anywhere you can buy books, you can find My Name is an Address. So I just wanted to put that up there.
Thank you.
And so, but and the fact that you were like a family facilitator, that doesn't surprise me at all. Like, your background just totally matches that. So I ask you this next question, and also because I like internet stalked you for a little bit. What are some of the resources that you have for teachers and parents?
Oh, thanks. I think I'll share my website if that's okay with you.
Yes, I would love it.
Okay. So here we go. If you go to ekuwah.com, this is my website here. And if you come to the tab up here, you'll see my name is an address right here. And then come down, educator and adult resources. And I put adult because anybody falls into that category. Parents, caregivers, teachers, librarians, anyone can come to this site. And then I ask, how do you plan to use it? Here's some different ideas that you can do. So I have an activity and discussion guide. And if you see Daily STEM here, Chris Woods, he publishes these lists of 77 different things you can do with your kids. And I contacted him and I said, I'm putting together some educator resources. I'm all about STEM. And so I would like people to see that there are STEM components too. So together we made an activity guide here. And then if you see right here, you can even get a story template. So you can do the A to Z thing like I did as well. If you scroll on down, and I have some of my favorite quotes built in my website too, so you can kind of see my mindset on reading. I also put a book list here of other books that are in common. As you were mentioning the We Are Teachers, I put that here as well, so you can see the list we were talking about too. You can print the paired text list because I don't want people to just stop with my book. I want them to be able to know that there's lots of other amazing fiction and nonfiction books out there that you can read as well about other people telling their authentic story. And then down here, I have something called multimodal resources. There are lots of bloggers, lots of different articles, different things out here, lesson plans, templates. There are even slideshows that you can pull up to help the kids say their names. There's research behind it. If you keep going down here, I also have a video gallery. The first one here is the pronunciation guide. So you can see my dad and I go through the book and practice along some of the Fonty words with my dad. And then I also put some other videos down here that are background information on culture and language and names and history, all that good stuff. And then if you want to know a little bit more about Ghana, scroll down and I have another video gallery down here. So if you're looking at some of the meals on the M and you're like, what's that? You can come here. Some of my favorite Ghanaian vloggers, I've put their videos up here. So you can kind of see what Ghana is all about. And then I have some of the other books that kind of inspired me. So also in the pandemic, one of the things I did besides bringing back my book, I also did a lot of reading. I was in a father-daughter book club with my dad, and we read 6 books together with my uncles and aunties and some friends via Zoom. And these are 3 of the books that we read: Things Fall Apart, Homegoing, and Transcendent Kingdom. Very inspirational to me. They're for adults, but very inspirational. And then I put this book here, The Slave Trade, because this is how we, on the page where we were talking about our name may be linked to a royal admiral, it came from this book here. But I say may because we don't have definitive proof. And so it was just through reading this that we came up with that. And then at the bottom, I also have a suggestion box. So please tell me more. I love finding other things that we can do as well. I hope I didn't make you sick there. I also have an extension gallery for teachers so they can see other teachers and what they're doing. And please send me more. If you do use my book with students, please share with me. Here in Las Vegas, Miss Alexis Campberger, she did this wonderful 4-square thing with her kids. And so I put the actual template so people can print this out and use it with their students too. She's a 3rd grade teacher. And if you just scroll across, it'll show you the other examples. And then down here is another teacher who used it with her students. And so I have this gallery here that you can see what the students said. And it's so touching to me to see this use with students and in classrooms. I'm so excited about those things. So again, lots of resources for parents and families. I also have family learning videos. Some of the videos that I did with faces are here as well. So if you want to know, like you were mentioning, the reading aspect, ways to raise a reader, that video series, I have it here too. I was very fortunate while I was there to be able to record these videos. So feel free to take and share. They're all in English and Spanish, and all of them have the corresponding resources, which is not about my book, but then it gives you a little bit more understanding about me. And then also I have a children's activity corner that kids can go to too. You can figure out what your Ghanaian name is. For, again, our names are day names. So which day of the week, you put it in this generator, this day name tool, and you can figure out which yours would be. And then I put some of my favorite read alouds out here with the actual authors reading. Some of these I have found that are related as well to the concepts, the social emotional learning that's in the book too.
Definitely. And I'm going to put this up here. You can find this at ekuwah.com. And wow, what a treasure trove of resources. I think I've only explored a little bit of it. So thank you for sharing that. I really appreciate that. Gosh, you put a lot of heart and a lot of work into that. So kudos to you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's a pleasure and a joy to share. And like I said, I hope the book is a conversation starter. I hope it's something that it sparks you to want to learn more, ask deeper questions. I certainly didn't include everything in the book, but I wanted it to be somewhat an idea starter so people could, have other ideas to look for and other authors to look for and just keep learning. Because the more I do this, the more I put it together, the more I realize I don't know. The more I realize, oh, wow, I need to keep reading. We took a little break with our book club, our father-daughter book club with the family. And I'm like, I need to get that going again because I like to keep learning and hear all this stuff since I didn't grow up there.
Well, if your dad decides he doesn't have time, let me know. I'll make a book club with you for sure.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
And you know,
Thank you.
I do. Your everything is infused with so much purpose and love and community. It's wonderful. And so before we go and say goodbye, this has been such a wonderful time. Do you have any words you want to talk about, like for those people who are thinking about writing, or just any thoughts that came to your mind that you'd like to share before we say goodbye?
Oh, thanks. I would definitely say if you're interested in writing, think about what makes you unique and what story is in your heart. Because all of us have things around us all the time, whether your mother is an artist or whatever it may be in your family, whatever hobby, interest, talent, travel, whatever you've done in your family that makes you unique, share that and be brave, be authentic, be you. And that I tell you, like you said, EduMatch was a perfect fit for me, this publisher, because she said to me, it's your story, your way. What better
Hmm.
publisher than someone who says it's your story, your way, than someone who censors or
Right.
cuts you out or says don't do it this way? But Dr. Sarah was amazing and said, just do you. And that's what I did. And so I encourage anybody, find a publisher who fits you, who fits your needs. And if they say don't do this, don't do that, but you feel it in your heart, find another one. Keep looking. Follow your dreams. I sat on my dream for 20 years, but I'm glad that I'm it's out now, and the reception and reaction has just been so positive. So I encourage you, what makes you unique? Be you. Tell your story. The world needs it.
I love that. And I know your book is probably going to be mentioned like I could just see things happening, the impact that it's going to make, the more and more people who get their hands on it. So I'm just going to congratulate you for all
Oh,
the accolades and awards that are looking in your future, because I totally can see it.
oh,
And
thank
my kids
you.
think you're a celebrity. So thank you for taking the time, Miss Celebrity, and sitting down with me this week. And for closing out the month of September, I had amazing book chats this month, and this was just the perfect way to close out a very strong a month of book chats. I loved my time with you. Thank you so much for joining me
My
tonight. And I'm gonna,
pleasure. Mhm.
and if you are wanting this book, first of all, I'm gonna like put up this, flash up this. Oh, sorry, I'm good. I'm getting the wrong. I want to put your website. You can go to ekuwah.com, and if
Uh-huh.
you want to find this book, it is bit.ly, my name is an address. So make sure that you look it up. And thank you, Ekuwah. Just congratulations on all your success. You are an
Oh,
amazing author. And
oh,
everybody, thank you for tuning in. We are so appreciative of you. We'll see you again next week with more books. And actually, October, I'm going to have a lot of scary books. Like I've got a lineup of scary people to join us every Wednesday. So we'll see you then. Bye, everybody.
mhm. Bye-bye. Thank you.
I got this outro. I can never do the outro very smooth, but here we go. Bye, everyone.